Hi everyone, my name is Sant Medicolona and I'm going to report about Dracunculus Medinensis. So, moving on to the overview, dracunculiasis, also known as guinea fireworm, is a parasitic disease caused by the nematode Dracunculus Medinensis. The infection is transmitted to humans by drinking water containing with the small crustacean called pans or cyclopes which contain the larvae of D. medinensis. So the disease is endemic to the rural and poorer areas of the world. And dracunculiasis is a tripling parasitic disease is on the verge of being eradicated or on the verge of eradication since last 2022 reported human cases who has a dracunculiasis kanang infected sila kay only to 27 kabuok. And then from time ang infection occurs, it takes only 14 or 10 to 14 months for the transmission cycle to complete, which means na 1 year almost or less than 1 year siya makomplete ang cycle sa Dracunculus medinensis. About this uh, about this time koan and the parasite is transmitted mostly when people drink stagnant water contaminated with parasite infected water fleas mo to siya ang copads. I will show you later on a picture of a water fleas. It affects people in rural deprived and isolated communities who depend mainly on open stagnant surface water such as ponds for drinking water, like countries like Africa, Ethiopia, Mali, or those countries who has a lot of people do not have a means of drinking a um, safe water or kanang dili siya sa ponds. Dracunculus medinensis causes dracunculiasis, also known as guinea fireworm, caused by the female worm which, at up to 80 centimeters in length, is among the longest nematode infecting humans. So, ang kuan jud ani ang female worm lagi, and then ang dracunculiasis is rarely fatal, but infected people became non-functional for weeks and months. Since lisod man kini siya kanang sakit kay siya bitaw and then 24 to almost 70 hours sakit jud siya, inflamed pain siya mo na people who are infected will not or cannot do their daily activities and characteristics. The adult worm, the shape of the adult worm is slender, twine thread, cylindrical, smooth body. I have an example of a twine thread. This is one kind of picture sa taas. Man siya twine thread. And then ang size is that the male is only 4 centimeter. Mo na siya kinatas-an nga recorded na guinea fireworm no male. Then with about the female, mas taas jud siya, mas dako siya. I mean mas taas siya kay abot man siya 60 to 80 centimeter or abot kay siya 3 feet na siya kataas. Then ang color is white and then the structure is the posterior end, the tapering band form a hook, the anterior end kay minute triangular mouth, toxic body fluid and lifespan which is ang female is 1 year, then ang male kay not more than 6 months. So mamatay ang male una kaysa sa female. Next is the picture of this is a picture of a worm. Sample picture din diri ang anterior end, this is the posterior end. Di siya ang kanang sa center mo siya thread-like nasa tunga and it is cylindrical. And then moving on to the morphology, infective stage is the larvae introduced by ingesting the copans while drinking water. So katong copans naaman to sila infected na to sila daan sa larvae And then kung mainom tong copans which is infected sa larvae, o na din na siya ang infected stage kanang ma makuan ba, ma-digest sa person or and then diagnostic stage is the adult worm that appears in a cutaneous ulcer in humans. Mo siya like a clinical manifestation. Like naay worm mo appear sa cutaneous ulcer, naay worm mo appear sa blister, masyad ka ng open wounds and then ay mo kuan nga worm gawas. Next is the three stages of larvae. The larvae 1 or the first stage larvae, and then the L2 or the second stage larvae, and then the L3 or the third stage larvae which is the infected stage. Mo ni siya ang L3 or third stage larvae kay mo na siya ang infected stage. It can cause a dracunculiasis na dayon. This is the sample picture of a larvae 3, infected form L3 larvae. And the next is the cyclops under microscope. This is the cyclops. Mo ni siya naa sa tubig, tong sa stagnant water. Dayon, kaning cyclops, kay infected ni siya, naa ni siya kuan kanang larvae 3 katong infected form L3 larvae. Mo ni siya, naa ni siya didto. Iyan ni siyang gitulon. Naa siya infected na ni ng cyclops. Dayon kaning cyclops mabot siya sa stagnant water, then katong water immune man to siya, mao na siyang ma-infected ang person. Dili jud siya um, ang main reason sa disease kay kaning cyclops, dili. But ang katong L3 larvae kay nag-contain lang man ang cyclops sa L3 sa larvae. So next is the mode of transmission and portal of entry. So by ingesting the copans, infective larvae, mo ni akong giingon ganina, in drinking water. Nga kana ang copans gi-digest siya, ingest siya, giinom, naapil siya og inom, ginamit siya sa stagnant water, pero katong copans kay kuan man siya infective man siya, na siya infective larvae, contains is infective larvae. Then niya giinom to siya, so ma ma ma-infect. And then the copans are digested in the human's gastrointestinal tract and release the larvae which penetrate the gut wall. So katong copans ma-digest na to siya sa human kanang di namang tubig. Dayon katong copans mamatay man to siya, then ang mapabilin kay ang katong infected larvae. Mag-release siya larvae. Then katong larvae mag-penetrate siya sa gut wall. Then dito din siya magkuan sa stomach or sa yeah. And then the fertilized female worm migrates under the skin tissue until it reaches in its exit point, usually at the lower limbs, forming a blister or swelling from which it eventually emerges. Kanang ang kuan man ana kung ang fertilized worm, ako na siyang um explain pa further later, kinaman ko'y cycle ipakita. So, a mode of transmission, the parasite is transmitted mostly when people drink stagnant water, right? Then contaminated with parasite-infected water fleas. And then ang dracunculiasis was endemic man ni siya atong mga countries sa mid-1980s kay mas kuan man didto. Mas wala man to means of a drinking water nga mas safe. Ang blister ani kay eventually so ay kaning then next kay kaning um example I have a sample pictures of people who are infected with the disease ani siya sa mga lower extremities mostly man siya 90% of the disease kay sa lower extremity siya mabutang. And then hinahinayon na siya og kuha. And then this is the laboratory diagnosis, X-ray siya, image sa kanang a client or a person who is infected with the disease. Gani siya. And then kaning diri sa shoulder and ang kuan po dili lang ang person or ang tawo mo'y ma-infected ani but it can also infect animals like dog, cats, mga inana cats which is kanang makainom sila or makakaan sila kanang couples infected with a larvae. And then moving on to the pathogenesis. Adult female worms produce a substance that causes inflammation, blister, plus ulcer of skin. The inflamed papule, burns, itches, ulcers can secondarily be infected. So kaning ang female worm, mo man na siya mag-cause sa blister since magawas man na siya kung kuan na kanang fertilizer ready na siya manganak inana. Then iya ang giana kay kuan kanang maghimo siya blister plus ulcer of the skin. Unya sakit kina siya, it burns, it is very itchy and kanang init siya, where it is a very burning sensation man siya. Munang ang ubang tawo nga infected ani kay kuan kanang dili sila makahimo silang mga daily activities kay sakit man kay siya. And then the clinical findings is blister and ulceration of the skin. Wala siya ang una siya nimo makita kanang naay blister and ulceration of the skin in the lower extremities. Mostly, di ba, mostly kay sa lower extremities na sila maabot mo form ang blister. And then the rash at the site, nausea, dizziness, localized edema, reddish, papule, blister plus itching mo man siya. So, ang symptoms ana siya kanang more than people with guinea worm disease have no symptoms for about 1 year. Wala siya symptoms bisan gamay. So, dili kabalo ang isa ka person nga infected na dahil siya ana nga disease or ani nga kuan kanang nana siya'y guinea worm disease kay 1 year pa man ang symptoms. Then the person begins to feel ill na dayon after 1 year ay akong balik. And then ang symptoms can include the following: slight fever, itchy rash, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and dizziness. Inana sila. And then, ang complication is secondary complication due to infection. Since, di ba, open wound man siya, katong gipakita ninyo ganina. Open wound man siya dahil if kanang, so prone siya sa mga infection. Daghan og infection ang makuha niya kay open wound man siya. And then, ang like cellulitis, magsa-sepsis food, arthritis. Kanang arthritis kay when people kanang maigo ilang joints, then tendons, inana din magka-arthritis. Then lifelong disability and even death. Lifelong disability kay kung ma-rupture or makuan jud ila ang mga muscle inana. Wala magka-lifelong disability, di na mabalik. So death, disability, while death rate is low, disability is a common outcome of GWD or guinea worm disease. People have difficulty moving around because of pain and complication caused by secondary bacterial infection. Mo man siya mga bacterial infection. Unang kuan kanang dili lang siya ang worm itself mo'y makapatay or cause of death but the infection. Like the disability that occurs during worm removal kung mag-removal na kay uh, and recover patient people from working. It prevents people from working in their fields, tending animals going to school and caring for their families. Kanang disability kay usually mag-last na siya 8 to 5 weeks or 3 months, and but an average lang na siya, but sometimes can be permanent, like kuan jud siya, ang disability can be permanent. And moving on, next kay kaning um life cycle of the guinea worm disease. When human drinks unfiltered water, kana siya ang first. Human drinks unfiltered water containing copans with L3 larvae. Katon ang copans, di ba, naman to siya sa tubig at akong gingon ganina ninyo. Nga na siya sa tubig, ang copans. But katong copans, infected na to siya daan with a larvae, L3 larvae. Then kung imno na siya sa person, larvae are released when ang kanang di na ako mabasa, copans die. Kung mamatay ang copans na dayon, ma-release dayon ang L3 larvae. Larvae penetrates the host stomach and intestinal wall. They mature and reproduce. Dito sila sa um dito, ilang i-penetrate ang host stomach and intestinal wall. Then mag-mature sila dito sa stomach. Dayon, fertilized female worm migrates to surface of the skin causes a blister and discharge larvae. So, kuan siya, kanang mag-mate man dire sa two, mag-mate ang female and a male worm. Gagmay pa man to siya. Aya sila yung mature na sila, then mag-mate to silang duha. Dayon ang laki kinamatay. Then ang bayi mao to siya kung ready na siya ipagawas ang mga ay lang mga egg mo to siyang munaog siya usually sa lower extremities, then mahita siya og kuan kagawsan manang naay blister. When a fertilized female worm migrates to the surface of the skin, causes a blister and discharge larvae. Akong giingon ganina. Para maka-discharge siya larvae, which is the L1 larvae, tong kanang fertilized nga worm, munaog siya, mo gawa siya sa skin, sa cutaneous tissue. Female worm begins to migrate, emerge from skin 1 year after infection. Wala ko gingon nga after infection, about 1 year pa, aya siya mo gawa. So, ang symptoms ba ay pa 1 year pa. So, dili siya makabalo isa ka person if infected siya ana. And after 1 year, ang L1 larvae release into the water from the emerging female worm. So, kung mugawas na ang female worm, makita na siya og blister man, then makakita siya og blister. Dayon, since this site is very itchy, then init jud kay siya, and kanang ang person nga infected ani di na jud makaya kay init man siya 24/7. It's like most of the time init siya, then sakit kayo, it is very very painful. Munang ibutang nila sa tubig para ma-relieve ang ilaang gibati. So kung ibutang nila sa tubig na then usually ibutang nila na sa sa kuan man sa mga ponds or asa nga didto pod din sila mag-inom or ma-infected dahil ang water. Then katong water kay which is 'di ba ang 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 kanang blister ibutang nila sa ibutang nila sa tubig. Dayon, um, katong kung mabutang na sa tubig ang kanang kuan, ang kanang blister or kanang part sa naay samad, kay mag-release dayon 'tong worm o L1 larvae. Release na nila iyang mga anak, mga itlog. Iyang mga worm mga worm. Kay ma-release din 'to sa water. Then katong water na dayon L1 larvae consumed by a copans. Ma-consume na siya sa copans kay ang copans naman sa tubig, then i-consume na pud sa copans ang L1 larvae. Motong ang larvae undergoes two modes in the copans and becomes a L3 larvae. Nana din kuan diri kanang mga stages or mga unsa nga may tabo para mahimo siyang elf tray larvae. Dayon kaning kuan na dayon mobalik na pud dayon ang kaning copans na naman siya infected na siya o na siya elf tray larvae dayon. Then kung kanang copans imno na pud sa isa ka tawo so mo na siya life cycle balik-balik na dayon. Next is control and prevention. So the control and prevention is filtering drinking water through a piece of fine mesh or chest cloth. Muna siya. And then boiling water kay mamatay ang worm and ana or ang cookpans and drinking only chlorinated water. So the treatment is walay kuan, there is no infected medication or vaccine for dracunculiasis. Infected persons do not have um do not become immune to subsequent infection. Di sila ma-immune to kuan na ani, ma-infected na ani, pwede rin gyapon ma-infected balik kung mawala. Dili jud ma-immune like kuan kanang dili man siya parehas og chickenpox nga ma-immune ang person but kani kay pwede jud magbalik-balik. Treatment is a long, painful process consisting of pulling out the emerging worm by rolling it around a piece of gauze or a small stick a few centimeters a day and in a combination with wound cleaning and dressing with antibiotic ointment to prevent secondary bacterial infection. So mo man na siya, wala jud siya kanang treatment jud nga mawala ang kanang disease to treat the disease but gradually extraction lang jud siya, gradually extraction of worms. Like ibutang na diri ang kuan bitaw man siyang stick dayon day by day kay kuan lang siya kanang i-roll para mawala ang worm. Like inaano siya na so sakit jud kayo siya kay kwaon man siya like mag-iyak jud ang mga patient ani nga na inani nga disease. And then kuan para ma wala iyang sakit mo nang anti-inflammatory like agents like ibuprofen and aspirin para sa sakit eh, since it is very painful man mo nang tagaan og anti-inflammatory but dili jud siya mo jud ang main nga um, treatment. Then ang topical antibiotics cream or ointment kay to prevent infection man so mo nang naay antibiotics. And then yeah, that's all. Thank you for listening and watching. So keep fighting. Bye bye.